Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Damon Morrison and I will be your chairman for this evening's ceremonies. A very warm welcome for one and all for joining us this evening at the 2018 Rockhampton Region Australia Day Awards and Citizenship ceremonies. These are very significant occasions on our regional calendar and I thank you all for your attendance. We've been very fortunate this evening to be joined by some very talented members of the Rockhampton Musical Union Choir, accompanied by Mrs. Mary Steer. On behalf of us all here this evening, I would like to thank them all for their wonderful performance. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce and acknowledge our official party for this evening's proceedings. Deputy Mayor of the Rockhampton Regional Council, Councillor Cherie Rutherford, Senator the Honourable Matt Canavan, Minister for Resources and Northern Australia, the Member for Rockhampton, Mr Barry O'Rourke, Mr George James, Director of Durrumbal Enterprises, Councillors of the Rockhampton Regional Council, Councillor Rose Swadling, Councillor Ellen Smith, Councillor Drew Wickerson, and Councillor Neil Fisher. Before we begin, I do just have a few minor housekeeping announcements to make. If you haven't already, I would ask if you could please turn your phones to silent, but please don't turn them off because you're going to need them in order to take a lot of photographs and help create some lasting memories of tonight's ceremony. In the unlikely event of an emergency, we would ask if you could please proceed out the lower doors and meet in the car park located on Bolsover Street to the rear of the building. An accessibility ramp is located on Cambridge Street through doors 1 and 2. Bathroom facilities for use during the course of this evening's ceremonies are also located outside the lower doors on both sides of the theatre. As well as your own photos this evening, we do have a council officer who will be taking photographs of all our individual award winners and new citizens. And we encourage you all to contact council after this evening's ceremony if you would like any copies. Ladies and gentlemen, this is ultimately a celebration for all our Australia Day Award nominees and soon to be new citizens, together with your families, friends and supporters. So there is only one other rule that we would ask for you to follow this evening, and that is to have fun and enjoy yourselves. On that note, I'll let the formalities begin, but most importantly, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to elders past, present and future, and to welcome us to country, I would like to invite Mr James to the podium. Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks, Davian. Well, it's a lovely evening. So I'd say welcome everybody here this afternoon to this lovely venue. It's magnificent. And I do pay respects to the past and present elders of the original owners of the land. Myself, I'm an Aboriginal person. My mother was born in Yeppoon, I was born in Rockhampton, and she's done her very best to teach me the values of life, and I think I passed. But anyway, but I'd like to welcome the new citizens here today. You picked a very nice place to come and visit and stay. We're a very laid-back people here. We're very casual. There's lots of opportunities for everyone, and I appreciate. I've been here around for many years. That's a very, very, very nice place. And then I think you'll find lots of things. So I'll be very brief. So once again, I say welcome for the new citizens. Now, I don't speak any special language, so I'll just say in the Aussie way, g'day mate, or hello, and thank you for coming and have a very nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. James. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Deputy Mayor of the Rockhampton Regional Council, Councillor Cherie Rutherford, to begin our official proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Damon. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you, Mr. James, for your welcome to country. Your gesture on behalf of the Durrumbal people is particularly significant tonight as we welcome our new citizens. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge our nation's First People and pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. What a wonderful occasion it is for us to be able to honour some of our citizens whom have contributed the most amazing ways to our community, as well as welcome new citizens who have chosen to make the Rockhampton region their home. I know that my fellow councillors will agree with me when I tell you that this is a very special honour and privilege for us to be able to share in such a special time in your lives. Tomorrow we celebrate Australia Day. We celebrate this wonderful country, its beauty, its diversity, its freedom. We celebrate how lucky we are to live in this great land, and we celebrate mateship. Tomorrow we will see people all over the country display the Australian flag with passion and pride. Tonight, that very same flag flies for you. I went searching the internet for something truly Australian to share with you all this evening, something that celebrates our identity, our uniqueness, our ingenuity, our humour, and our authenticity, and I found this. Recently, a story appeared in a British tabloid that said, after having dug to a depth of 10 feet last year, British scientists found traces of copper wire dating back 200 years and came to the conclusion that their ancestors already had a telephone network more than 150 years ago. Not to be outdone by the British, in the weeks that followed, an American archaeologist dug to a depth of 20 feet, and shortly after, a story published in the New York Times said, American archaeologist finds traces of 250-year-old copper wire. They have concluded that their ancestors already had an advanced high-tech communication network 50 years earlier than the British. 1 week later, Australia's Northern Territory Times reported the following. After digging as deep as 30 feet in his backyard in Tennant Creek, Northern Territory Aboriginal elder, a self-taught archaeologist, reported that he had found absolutely nothing. He therefore concluded that 250 years ago, Australia had already gone wireless. Councillor Wickerson owes me because he said that I wouldn't get a laugh with that one, so. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I hope you can relax and enjoy this very special occasion. This evening is all about you, and we stand proudly beside you as you are either recognised for your outstanding contribution to our community or become a true blue Aussie. We will begin tonight's proceedings with the Australia Day Awards ceremony, and I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and specially thank our judges. Mrs. Shirley Shannon, the 2017 Citizen of the Year, Superintendent Ron Van Sand, District Officer for Capricornia, Dr. Philip Moles, Headmaster of the Rockhampton Grammar School, and Captain Dale Brooks of the Salvation Army. I would like to thank them. It was a very difficult task, and they did the job very, very well. We will begin tonight's proceedings. I know the judging panel and I were extremely inspired and humbled by the quality of the nominations and level of service and commitment the nominees contribute to our community. I speak to all nominees when I say The Rockhampton region is a wonderful place to live, and it is the exceptional efforts of people like you that help make it that way. We are inspired by your achievements, indebted to you for your generosity, and in awe of your selflessness. From the bottom of our hearts, we say thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. We now move to the announcement of the winners of the 2018 Rockhampton Region Australia Day Awards. The first award to be presented this evening is the Cultural Award, which is in recognition of the person who has made a noteworthy contribution to the cultural life of our community, or that special someone who has obtained an outstanding achievement in a cultural activity. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be inviting all the nominees for each of the award categories to the stage this evening so that they can be appropriately acknowledged. And I would ask perhaps if we could please pause our applause until all the nominees have been called out and brought to the stage. Thank you. I would like to now invite to the stage our nominees for the 2018 Cultural Award. The nominees are Merle Cole, who has generously contributed to the Rockhampton Little Theatre, Walter Reed Tenants, 4U Radio and the Cancer Council. And our second nominee for the Cultural Award is Julianne Late, who fosters the love of music in people of all ages by teaching and supporting children and adults through musical productions, primary schools, community choir, and through many other contributions. Congratulate both nominees for the 2018 Cultural Award. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce that the 2018 winner of the Cultural Award, Mrs. Julie Ann Late. Congratulations, Julie.
Julie Late is a well-known and respected member of the Rockhampton region's cultural community who fosters the love of music with people of all ages. For the more than 20 years, she has been sharing her passion for music with primary school students at the Crescent Lagoon State School. However, for Julie, teaching music is a calling, not a career. In recognition of Julie's service to her students and an indication of the high esteem in which she is held, Julie was nominated for the ARIA Music Teacher of the Year Award. Her outstanding contribution was considered so highly that she was chosen as a national finalist in the 2017 award. Contributing to the wider Rockhampton region, Julie has established a community choir, adjudicated Eisteddfods, coordinated local arts festivals, and is a guest conductor and chorus master for many Rockhampton Regional Council productions. Julie has taught young adults at university level, inspiring them to become passionate music teachers. She has fulfilled the role of chorus master for Opera Queensland Community Chorus, challenging and supporting children and adults to participate in professional products of La Boheme, I'm hoping I got that right, yes, and the Barber of Seville. Julie is very active in the Rockhampton music community and is committed to awakening the talents of individuals, often going above and beyond her remit to support her students. This is reflected in her choirs who present with passion and success in local Eisteddfods, the adult and children's choruses for Opera Queensland and Opera Australia. This cultural award is in recognition of Julie's infectious passion and ambition to inspire others through her love of music.
Congratulations, Julianne. Ladies and gentlemen, our next award this evening is the Community Service Award which is awarded to an individual who has made a noteworthy contribution to the community or has an enhanced social interaction among the community through their involvement with community groups, charities, or other similar organisations. I would like to now invite to the stage the nominees for the Community Service Award. At the same time, I would like to bring to the stage the nominees for the 2018 Rockhampton Region's Citizen of the Year Award for their significant contributions to the community. The nominees are James Lawson. James is an active member of the Rockhampton SES, giving countless volunteer hours of support to the community. Frank Douglas, a retired primary school teacher who has dedicated his time to many Lions Club community fundraisers and events. John Crawford, for his passion and dedication to the Frenchfield Pioneers Rugby Union Club, Capricornia Rugby Junior and Senior Committees, and Rockhampton Grammar School Rugby Club. Nicole Parlett, an active fundraiser for Beyond Blue, Relay for Life, Cancer Council, and who has completed the Kokoda Trail in Papua New Guinea, raising much needed funds for charity. Kim Byrne, for her selfless contribution in volunteering her time with the Fitzroy Rowing Club and Emmaus College Rowing Program. Alan Titman, who has contributed to the community for 40 years, managing community service and strategic development for the Central Queensland Fire and Rescue Service, and some 22 years of service with the Rockhampton Rotary Club. Jeff Honorey, who is an active member of the Rockhampton SES and has contributed many volunteer hours assisting the community during numerous floods and cyclones. Bill Sawynok, who has spent his career on the development and implementation of techniques in the field of barramundi research in Rockhampton and has been very influential in the development of fishing in the Fitzroy River. Senior Sergeant Michael Powell, who has gone above and beyond his duties as a Queensland Police Service officer and an active contributor to our community. And finally, thank you to our two nominees who we understand were unable to attend this evening, Mr. John Crawford and Mr. Jim Atkins. It now gives me great pleasure to declare this year's successful nominee for the 2018 Community Service Award is Mr. Alan Titman. Well done, Alan.
With more than 40 years dedicated to the Queensland Fire and Rescue Service and 20 years in leadership roles with Rotary, Alan Titman has certainly seen and experienced some of the best and worst life has to offer. Alan's career with the QFRS has seen him on too many occasions running towards the things the rest of us would run away from. His desire to help people is such that even after he was injured in the line of duty in 1989, Alan has continued to provide outstanding service to our community. As the first regional manager of the QFRS Community Safety Unit, many of the initiatives he started here in Rockhampton have gone on to be implemented statewide. One of Alan's most outstanding accomplishments as a Rotarian is well known and loved by all of us, the Rocky Swap. Still going strong after 21 years, the Rocky Swap has raised more than $1.5 million for national and international causes. Alan is currently the Rotary Assistant District Governor and coordinates the efforts of 9 different clubs in Rockhampton, Mount Morgan and beyond. Some of the initiatives he's involved in include the Rotary Youth Driver Awareness Program, a series of practical and powerful workshops for high school students that challenge the way they think about road safety, the establishment of 2 accessible accommodation units at the Red Cross Centre, and the Rotary Student Exchange Program. Alan's outstanding contribution has already been acknowledged by Queensland Fire and Rescue Service and Rotary. We are delighted to add this Rockhampton Regional Council Community Service Award to Alan's collection in recognition of his service to our community. Congratulations. Congratulations,
Ladies and gentlemen, we move now to the 2018 Sportsperson of the Year Award, which is in recognition of that person in the Rockhampton region who has an outstanding record of achievement in sport through their involvement individually, as an administrator, official or coach, or alternatively has made a significant contribution to the growth, development and increased participation of their sport within the Rockhampton region. I would like to invite to the stage the nominees for the 2018 Sportsperson of the Year Award. Paul Christensen, for his contributions to junior basketball as a volunteer coach, mentor and president. Ty Hartwell, at 16 years of age, some say he is near reaching veteran status, having swum for half a lifetime and represented Rockhampton in his chosen sport, and who has been a great ambassador for the region. Tony Jepson, who has been volunteering for Rockhampton water polo for more than 10 years and who has been instrumental in developing the sport in Rockhampton. Sharon Reynolds, who alongside Tony has assisted in coordinating the operations of Rockhampton water polo. Sharon is an administrator, coach, mentor, trip organiser and most importantly, cheerleader for all the players. David Malone, an inspiration in the sport of target archery. David has achieved state and local club records and has been chosen as a baton bearer for Rockhampton in the Commonwealth Games Queen's Baton Relay. And ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Sportsperson of the Year Award for 2018 is Mr. Paul Christensen.
Paul Christensen is an inspirational mentor and coach for numerous Rockhampton basketball teams, encouraging junior players to excel to their greatest heights. Coaching junior club basketball with the Frenchville Panthers since 2007 and representative basketball since 2008, Paul is the driving force behind many of our budding basketball stars who play at both state and national levels. He has also assisted with coaching the Rockhampton Cyclones women's QBL team and the Queensland North representative team, both of which have won state and national titles. Since Paul's involvement with the Frenchville Junior Panthers, the club has grown from 5 to 18 teams involving more than 100 juniors. Many teams are consistently performing at top level. Paul spends countless hours trying to better the local youth players, assisting them with their skills in individual sessions to help them progress. He regularly spends in excess of 20 hours per week coaching and training the Frenchville Panthers and Rockhampton representative teams. The phrase, "a coach will motivate more young people in 1 year than the average person will do in a lifetime," certainly stands true for Paul Christensen. The impression he has made on many young people in the Rockhampton community is a legacy of Paul's commitment, enthusiasm and tireless work ethic to the sport. Known for his fairness, reliability and respectful nature, it is an honour to congratulate Paul Christensen as the 2018 Sportsperson of the Year for his invaluable commitment to enriching our young players and the basketball community as a whole. Congratulations, Paul.
Congratulations, Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, our next presentation will be for our Community Event or Initiative Award. This award recognises individuals, informal groups or organisations that have made a significant and beneficial contribution to the well-being or livability of the Rockhampton region through projects, activities or events in the preceding 12 months. I'm told that the judges found it very difficult this year to distinguish the outstanding nominations in terms of a community event and a community initiative. But in light of the high quality of nominations received, our judging panel wanted to acknowledge both particular sections. So our judging panel have elected to recognise separately a Community Event Award and a Community Initiative Award for 2018. I would now like to invite to the stage the nominees for the Community Event and Community Initiative Awards. The nominees are Joy Simons, a swinging teacher who is dedicated to lowering childhood drowning rates through education and awareness about safe water practices. The Central Queensland Lions Charity Cricket Day, a joint venture by the Gracemere Lions Club and a group of cricketers which has been held for the previous 4 years, supporting local families by fundraising to assist with medical costs and travel for medical treatments. Craig McCormick, the man who brought Parkrun to Rockhampton. He is the organiser of Fitzroy Frogs Triathlon Club, Try2, Rockhampton Roadrunners, and the Excess Energy Kids Only Duathlon. And finally, the Joint Rockhampton Rowing Committee, a volunteer group with representatives from the Rockhampton Fitzroy Rowing Club and the Rockhampton Grammar School. This committee organises local rowing regattas while also coordinating development camps. And while our last nominees come to the stage, we will be doing both award presentations at the same time, so if I could ask for all the nominees to remain on the stage, please. Firstly, oh, yes, of course, please, congratulations. Firstly, the winner of the 2018 Community Event Award is the Joint Rockhampton Rowing Committee. Congratulations.
Established in 2012, the Joint Rockhampton Rowing Committee is a volunteer group that recently assisted in bringing the country's second largest rowing regatta to Rockhampton. The Queensland Secondary Schools Rowing Championships saw nearly 800 athletes travel to Rockhampton to compete in the Fitzroy River over 3 days. The event attracted over 1,200 entries, making it the biggest rowing regatta to ever be staged in Rockhampton and the second biggest in Australia after the National Championships. Rowing Queensland praised the event and considered it so successful that the Rockhampton and the facilities provided by the Rockhampton rowing community is now a location of choice for future state regattas. The committee, made up of representatives from the Rockhampton Fitzroy Rowing Club and the Rockhampton Grammar School Rowing Club, has achieved some incredible results through its regattas and development camps by combining resources to provide more opportunities for local competitors. With an increased participation in the sport, the committee is now ready to continue hosting both state and national rowing events on the Fitzroy River, helping raise our region's profile in the rowing industry. The success of the Queensland Secondary Schools Rowing Championships really has cemented Rockhampton and our mighty Fitzroy as one of the premier rowing facilities in the nation. This event and the organising committee has without doubt enhanced the sporting reputation and richness of our region and are truly deserving of this Community Event Award. Congratulations.
And the winner of the Community Initiative Award for 2018 is Joy Simons. Congratulations, Joy.
Driven by a passion to save lives, Joy Simons is absolutely committed to weaving water safety into the fabric of Australian culture. Having spent 20 years in the aquatics industry, Joy is determined to use her knowledge and skills to raise awareness about water-safe practices. Her desire and commitment to combat drowning statistics has seen her set out on a journey to voluntarily educate people of all ages, abilities, and socioeconomic backgrounds on water safety. Joy is a two-time recipient of an AusSwim Award, a premier award presented to individuals in Australia that achieve the highest standards of aquatic education excellence. These awards were in recognition of her excellent presentation skills and management of the Shut the Gate Learn to Swim school in Bersica. However, Joy's passion to lower water facilities has not allowed her to stop there. She has combined her years of aquatic experience, skill as a swimming instructor, and creative talents to develop an initiative that delivers water-safe messages in an entertaining, fun, and memorable way. Joy co-wrote and starred in the water safety play Billabong Dreaming in 2017. Performed for 1,200 school children, the play was very successful in raising awareness of water safety. With our climate and our region's abundance of both natural and built water bodies, it is very important that water safety is not considered an option, but a necessary life skill. This Community Initiative Award is presented to Joy Simons in recognition of her contribution to our community with the delivery of her Water Safe initiative and her determination to save lives through education. Congratulations.
This brings us to our final two awards for the evening, ladies and gentlemen, the Young Citizen of the Year and Citizen of the Year, which are both in recognition of those who have made a noteworthy contribution to the betterment of the Rockhampton region and who have given outstanding service to the community in the past 12 months or over a number of years. I would like to take the opportunity to point out that entrants in all individual categories announced this evening automatically qualified for nomination to the Citizen of the Year or Young Citizen of the Year. I now have great pleasure to announce that the 2018 Young Citizen of the Year Award is awarded to Mr. James Lawson. Congratulations.
James Lawson is an active member of the Rockhampton SES and has given many volunteer hours of support to the community during numerous floods and cyclones over the past 5 years. James has tirelessly served the Rockhampton SES in many roles, including member, trainer, and most recently as a senior field operator. He has also participated in numerous rescues, one of the most significant being a flood boat rescue in Eton during Cyclone Debbie in 2017. James was deployed as part of the Rockhampton SES team to assist in the rescue of 13 residents trapped in flooded houses. These rescues were carried out in harrowing conditions in the rain and whilst floodwater was still rising. This incredible and tireless contribution to the community would be remarkable for anyone, but is especially so given James is just 26 years of age. To have given so much back, to have helped so many others, and to have shown at such a young age the qualities of a true leader is absolutely extraordinary, and that is why our judges felt James was a worthy recipient of this award. James has not only served our community with dedication and courage, but he has also represented us admirably in other regions during their time of need. It is with respect and gratitude we award James Lawson the Young Citizen of the Year. I would just like to add to that, this morning I was at the Queensland Fire and Rescue Australia Day Service Awards, and James was also awarded a special commendation at that event as well.
Congratulations, James, a very worthy winner of the 2017 Rockhampton Region Young Citizen of the Year. Our final award for this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is the 2018 Rockhampton Region Citizen of the Year. And I won't keep anybody waiting, as it is a great honour to announce that this year's winner is Mr. Frank Douglas. Congratulations.
For most people, dedicating their life to educating the next generation would be public service enough. Not so for Frank Douglas. Despite retiring from the teaching profession a number of years ago, Frank continues to organise poster competitions for primary schools in Rockhampton and is even mentoring teenagers at North Rockhampton State High School to create and run their own youth club. A Rockhampton Fitzroy River Lions Club member for over 16 years, including 2 stints as president, Frank has been involved in so many events it would genuinely take too long to mention them all here. Whether it's sausage sizzles, running the cattle club at the Rockhampton Show, or volunteering at Drivery Fiver activities, it seems there has barely been a community event without Frank's input. However, it is not just events which Frank steps up for. Constantly thinking about how he can help those who need assistance, Frank takes care of 3 elderly Lions Club members on a regular basis. He drives them to and from meetings and activities and organises other social outings for them to enjoy. This has made a significant difference to their lives, allowing them to remain involved in things that would otherwise be off limits. Frank is also a driver and volunteer for the Low Vision program, allowing visually impaired individuals to attend specialised social events in the region. Frank has been an active member of the Capricornia Silver Band since the 1980s, as well as organising regular fundraisers, including Light the Night and Shave for a Cure for the Leukaemia Foundation, a cause particularly close to his heart. Described as an honest, considerate and hard-working man who always goes the extra mile for those around him, Frank Douglas has without a doubt made an exceptional contribution to the betterment of the Rockhampton region and has given outstanding service to our community for decades. Frank's compassion, selflessness and dedication are truly inspirational, and our community is certainly richer from his efforts. We are so fortunate to have Frank Douglas as a resident of the Rockhampton region, and it is with great honour we recognise him as the 2018 Citizen of the Year.
Oh. And if you'd like to say a few words, Frank.
Yes. Well, first off, I'm amazed. I thought I came to be nominated for the Community Service Award, and I'd done some work in community service. As I've said before when I've received awards, This really isn't my award. There's a group of people sitting in the row back there. They're the ones who really have earned this award. They're the members of the Rockhampton Fitzroy River Lions Club. They demonstrate what it means to pay back to the community, to give back, to give service back in payment for what we've received. It is the members of the Lions Club that have caused those events that I've been involved in to succeed. They have proved that what one person cannot achieve on their own, a group collectively can achieve. And it's the efforts of them and many other Lions that have enabled things to happen. There's another group, secondly, that I've been involved with, a group of very talented people, the Capricornia Silver Band. They also put in huge amounts of efforts, practicing and so on. For some reason, they've allowed me to be involved. I have absolutely no musical ability. So I thank them for putting up with me for all these years. The third thanks that I wanted to make, unfortunately, my wife can't be here. Her mother passed away at 1 o'clock this morning. But it's because of the support and encouragement of my life partner for 37 years that I've been able to do anything. I thank my wife, Jeanette Douglas, for her efforts as well. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Frank, and congratulations once again. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the 2018 Rockhampton Region Australia Day Awards ceremony. Could I please ask that you all join me in again congratulating our deserving award recipients and nominees. They are all a credit to the community and have done us all very, very proud. Congratulations. And also to our judging panel, our nominators, and to the many people behind the scenes who have helped organise this evening's ceremony, thank you very much. We will very shortly move on to the citizenship ceremony, and while we don't force anybody to remain here, but to all of those award winners, nominees and participants from the awards ceremony, we do invite and encourage you all to remain as we move into the next part of our evening. We will now begin the citizenship ceremony with a very brief presentation. Thank you.
The most precious item I own and earned is my Australian citizenship.
All my team were there and they were all proud of me, and my parents were proud that I was Australian on my own accord, not really of just living here for a long time. It was more that Australia wanted me as a citizen.
I felt very proud, and I felt I I felt valued and I felt like I belong at last, and I could make up my mind that I am an Australian, and I was proud to say it.
We decided to become Australian citizens because we knew we wanted to stay here, and we wanted to be Australian as well. You know, we love it here. We've got, you know, 2 children who are Australian, and it was important for us to become citizens.
Also was special because my daughter of 2 years old was with me, and well, you know, it was a really special day that is going to keep really present in our lives.
Having made that decision to become Australian, when I stood up to sing the Australian anthem, I sang it with pride. I didn't feel like a sense of guilt at all, as if I was selling off my heritage and forgetting my past. No, I felt it was the best decision that I've ever made in my life.
It is one of the most memorable days of my life. It was amazing to see people from all over the world having their citizenship ceremony done there.
Since I moved here, the more I really realized this is the country I love. This is the country I'm proud to call home. And this is the country I'm willing to give my almost all to contribute to the betterment.
Now, I probably don't need to make any further introduction to our Deputy Mayor, Councillor Cherie Rutherford, but I will do so and welcome her back to the podium here. The Deputy Mayor this evening will be our presiding officer for this evening's citizenship ceremony. Thank you, Councillor Rutherford.
Welcome to this very important occasion as you become an Australian citizen. You have come to us as a place of refuge, a place of opportunity, or a place to be with family. Whatever your journey in the past, we accept with delight the privilege of sharing your journey into the future. You bring skills, you bring experiences, and you bring your own hopes and dreams. Our nation is best served when we help you to grow and to contribute to your fullest potential. When we come to the end of today's ceremony, you will notice that I've requested the second verse of the national anthem also be sung. Many Australians only know the first verse, but the second is especially for you. It is the verse that talks about our boundless plains and the need to share them, and most significantly, it recognised that growing our nation will require courage on both your part and ours. I wish that Australians were always as generous and as courageous as the words our national anthem professes. Please help us to grow into the nation that we aspire and need to be. It is now my pleasure to invite Senator the Honourable Matthew Canavan, Minister for Resources and Northern Australia, to read a message of congratulations on behalf of the Honourable Peter Dutton, MP, Minister for Home Affairs. Senator Canavan.
Thank you very much, Cherie, and I'd just like to acknowledge you as Deputy Mayor, along with the others up here on stage, Barry O'Rourke, my state colleague, Mr James, for your excellent welcome to country. I'd like to recognise you and your elders that have been before us, and the councillors with us, Rose, Drew, Neil, and I'm missing one there, aren't I? Ellen as well, I can't see. So thank you very much, Ellen, and thanks for reminding me, Cherie, about the need to sing the second verse. This is always one of the most inspirational events that I come to. It was also one of the first events I came to as an elected senator, and I was up on stage and they played the second verse, and I was very clearly found out as one of those Australians who didn't really know the words to the second verse. So I've been to many more since, and hopefully I'll get it better this time. But it is one of the truly inspirational events to come to as an elected official. I'm sure all my colleagues will agree. I truly want to thank all the nominees and award winners as well earlier tonight, particularly Frank and James. Congratulations to you. It is truly inspirational here, the work that so many people do without asking for a return. And it's great to welcome so many new Australians at these events. And Australia stands proud in today's world, recognised for defending the values, rights and obligations which will stand us in good stead for as long as we embrace them. The history and culture of Australia has been forged over thousands of years, first through Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, and more recently with people from all the four corners of the earth. Australians are proud of having survived and thrived as a nation following and through the cruelty of world wars, depression, drought and flood. As a result of this rich history, today we stand strong together with other democracies around the world to help and defend and protect our hard-fought freedoms. People of all backgrounds and religions strengthen our country, and only together, united, will our future be as strong as our present and our past. Thank you all for taking this very important step today. Australian citizenship confers on you great benefits, but equally rights and obligations too. Congratulations, on behalf of myself and the Australian Government, best wishes with your new future. Thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you, Senator Canavan. I now invite to the lectern the member for Rockhampton, Mr Barry O'Rourke MP, to say a few words.
Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we meet upon today and acknowledge elders past, present and emerging. I join with you this evening along with Senator Matt Canavan, Acting Mayor Cherie Rutherford, George James and the other councillors here, Rockhampton Regional Councillors here, to wish you the warmest welcome and best wishes on becoming our newest Australian citizens. Congratulations and welcome to Australia and particularly to Rockhampton and our beautiful sunshine, our beautiful Capricorn coast and our region as your new home. I've had great pleasure in commending you on becoming Australian citizens of this great nation this evening. We are a vibrant and inclusive community, and I trust that you will enjoy living in central Queensland. As a community, we have long celebrated and nurtured new friendships so that we may become more compassionate, caring, and understanding of fellow citizens. I encourage all here this evening to participate in Australia and what it has to offer, and to join our local community groups, learn from our great educational institutions, and be involved in activities and special events, and enjoying everything that we have to offer locally. I look forward to working with you and the many citizens living here in Queensland to continue to build a better country for all Australians. Welcome. And again, I wish you my warmest congratulations in taking this step to becoming a citizen of Australia. Enjoy your path ahead and take one more step into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr O'Rourke. It's now time to undertake the formal part of this ceremony, which is conducted in accordance with the Australian Citizen Act of 2007. As part of the legal requirements of today's ceremony, I will read the preamble to the Citizenship Act 2007. Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the community of the Commonwealth of Australia, and Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. Persons on whom Australian citizenship is conferred enjoy these rights and undertake to accept these obligations by pledging loyalty to Australia and its people, and by sharing their democratic belief, and by respecting their rights and liberties, and by upholding and obeying the laws of Australia. So candidates, this is now your special moment. I'm going to administer the Pledge of Commitment. It is very important that all candidates repeat the exact wording of the Pledge of Commitment after me. There is a pledge card enclosed in your program if you'd like to refer to it. Would the candidates taking Pledge 1, the Oath of Commitment under God, please stand. Okay, deep breath. Will you now take the Pledge of Commitment by repeating after me? From this time forward under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Thank you very much. You may now be seated. With the candidates taking Pledge 2, the Affirmation of Commitment, please stand and repeat after me. From this time forward, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and to our new citizens. I would now like to invite our new citizens to come forward as they announced to receive your official certificates of Australian citizenship.
Mr. David Beaumont. Mr. Dingy Swayo Hara. Mr. Prakash Kumar Patel, Mrs. Vallabhien Patel, Master Dev Patel, Master Krish Patel. Ms. Wathagala Samarasena, Master Mihiru Dasanayaki, Master Saviru Dasanayaki, Miss Sinelli Dasanayaki, Miss Siyumi Dasanayaki. Ms. Helen Cleary, Miss Samantha Moore. Mr. Cameron Challens, Ms. Jean Challens, Mr. Adam Challens, Miss Lauren Challens, Miss Michaela Challens. Mr. Resham Gautam, Ms. Geeta Gautam Kafal, Master Rian Gautam, Miss Ryuja Gautam. Mr. Ian Webster. Mr. Gelson da Silva, Ms. Juliana Jacob de Freitas, Ms. Natiara Jacob da Cunha, Ms. Suyan Jacob Silva. Mr. Joel Banguigi. Miss Darlene Fabian. Miss Rowland Jordan. Mr. Dexter Ligo, Miss Dorina Ligo, Miss Monique Ligo. Mr. Adolfo Jr. Lim. Mrs. Senior Manyanga. Ms. Elizabeth Matthew. Mr. B. Soy Mary Thomas. Mrs. Dardarayi Namasasu. Mr. Alexander Sulman. Ms. Sapaporn Sangkaho. Ms. Alisa Sangkaho. Mrs. Machima von Cray. Mr. Rasmus Stein, Mrs. Rihanna Stein, Mr. Ewald Stein, Miss Shane Stein, Miss Leanne Stein. Mr. Froggy John, Mrs. Deepa Davis, Miss Creeper Froggy, Mr. Chris Froggy. Mr. Deepak Devkota, Mrs. Lila Devkota. Mr. Shushil Kumar, Mrs. Sonia Sharma. Mr. Rajendra Shrestha, Mrs. Samila Shrestha.
Thank you and congratulations to all our new citizens. I now invite Deputy Mayor Councillor Cherie Rutherford to return to conclude the final part of our citizenship ceremony.
You are now citizens of Australia. This means you are formally identified with this country, its people and its governments. As Australians, we belong to each other. Our future success depends upon our unity of purpose and our commitment to work together for the common good. Becoming an Australian citizen does not mean forgetting your country of birth or the country where you grew up or its customs and culture. It simply means that you have adopted as your home a country that respects the diverse cultural inheritance of all its citizens. There is no doubt whatsoever that Australia's heritage has been made richer by the contributions of people from many lands. This act of law is now complete, and I extend to you my congratulations and best wishes for a happy and successful future as a citizen of Australia. And now, it's everybody here, it's everyone's turn. I invite you all to participate in an affirmation ceremony where we affirm our loyalty to Australia. Would you all please stand and repeat the affirmation after me? This is your first act as an Australian citizen. As an Australian citizen, I affirm my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I uphold and obey. All right, I think there is just one other thing to do to make sure that I got this ceremony right and I've made you all true blue Aussies. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Very good. You're all Australians. Well done.
Perhaps if I could all ask everybody just to be upstanding for a moment, as it gives me great pleasure to introduce Ms. Jeanette McLennan to the stage to sing the Australian National Anthem. And I would ask if you could please join us in singing the anthem, the words of which you will find on the back of your program. Thank you.
Australians all